Hi, this is Patty again. We're ready to get started on our journey in Google Drive. As you can see on my screen, we are looking at the Kate account, and I can tell it's the Kate account by coming over here and I see the Kate logo. You might see your first initial or another picture that you've actually attached to your account. Up here in the top right, I also see the word Kate. This designates that I am logged into Chrome, and I am logged into Chrome using the Kate account. Logging in and out of Chrome is not really part of Google Drive, but it really is an important part of using Google. And so you'll notice that if I click on Kate, you can see all these other accounts that I have access to and have logged in and out of. It is a really good idea, if you want to use Google Chrome to the fullest, to log into Chrome. To do this, when you're first logging in, it's going to ask you to log into Google. Now, if you're on a Chromebook, you're going to automatically log into Chrome. If you're on a computer, you may skip that part of logging into Chrome and just log into Google. And you may be saying to yourself, what's the difference? Well, there is a difference. Logging into Google logs you into your Google accounts. It does not log you into Chrome. Logging into Chrome logs you in not only to Chrome, but also to your Google account. So go ahead and log into Chrome. And the reason you want to do this is it sets up your browser to be customized the way you want it. And when you go from computer to computer and log into Chrome, your Chrome experience will be exactly the same. The one thing you also have to remember is that when you are finished on a computer that you don't use constantly, that is public or shared with other people, you need to log out of Chrome. To do that, you're going to again click on where you see the name, and yours may see your name, you may see your email address. It all depends on how it's set up for your account. And you need to go to Manage People. Now you'll notice all the accounts are here. And to log out of the Kate account, I would hover over the Kate picture and I get these three dots. I would click here and go to remove this person, not that person, and click on it. This is going to tell me it's going to remove this person and it's going to permanently delete almost 600 items that have been put onto this computer by this account. Now, if I don't log out and remove this person, now logging out of Google and logging out of Chrome are not the same. If I don't remove the person from that computer, the next time somebody logs in, they might have access to some of those 599 items on this computer. So in this day of safety, we like to keep our Google accounts and any accounts safe from other people and letting them get to different information that might be on this computer. So again, go ahead and remove this person by hovering over the person's account and then removing this person, or it would actually be your account. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I'm actually using this account, but it's just a tip that I like to start a lot of my trainings with. All right, so what is Google Drive? Google Drive is basically a hard drive. Only the hard drive is not on your computer. It is out there somewhere else where it is housed by Google and it is accessed via the internet. All right, the online hard drive that you have here with Google Drive, it also lets you access the Google applications like Google Docs and Slides and Sheets. One of the things that's really cool for educators is that it is unlimited storage. With a personal account, I believe you get 15 gigabytes. You'll notice down here on my account, I'm at about 67 gigabytes. And so I would be paying if this was my personal account, I would be paying for that extra storage. Whereas a teacher or somebody that works in a school district with an education account, you don't need to worry about your space. And so you can save all this stuff, years of lesson plans, years of documents, all these things that you really want and need access to as you're using Google Drive. The nice thing about Google Drive is that I can log into Google, I can log into Chrome on any computer, and I get exactly the same experience. So I can access my files, I can leave my computer at work, and I can come home, get on my Chromebook, and access those same files. And so it really makes for a really true, similar experience. I don't have to think about where is this, where is that. It is right there in front of me as long as I log in. Another nice thing is when you're creating and doing things in Google Drive, you never have to save anything. So how do I get to my Google Drive? Well, there are a number of ways. One is if you're in Chrome, you can open up a new tab, and then you can come over to what we call the waffle. It's actually really called the app switcher, but a lot of people will refer to it as the waffle. You can click here and you can click on the drive icon. One of the things about this app switcher or waffle is you can move things around and put things in the order. I don't typically use my account very often, so I might put this down here. And I use calendar a lot, so I might put it up at the top. I use slides more than sheets. I use Google Plus a lot. And so you can kind of move things around. And as you scroll down, you'll see that there are different things that are here. So that is one way to get to Google Drive. In a new tab, I can also start by typing drive.google.com. Anything Google is going to start with the name of the app and be .google.com. And so if I'm looking for docs, I can go to docs.google.com. If I want to go into slides, I can type slides.google.com. And the same thing works with Drive. So it's drive.google.com. Notice it's going to be the same one I already have open, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, I'm in Google Drive and I need to change my settings. If I go up here to the three dots and I click and I go to settings, those are my Chrome settings, my Google Chrome settings. So I'm not going to go there. I'm going to come down here to the little cogwheel or the gear, and I'm going to click here and go to settings. When I go here, you'll notice that it tells me again how much I have stored on Google Drive. You don't have to worry about this. If you want to convert everything that you upload that is in another format that can be converted to a Google format, for example, a Microsoft Word document, if you want to automatically convert that to Google Docs, you would click here. Or an Excel spreadsheet to Sheets, you would click here. Most people don't like to do that because they like to keep their original. So what you do is you don't click that, you upload your, let's say, Microsoft Word, not Docs, and then when you open it in Google Drive, you can convert it there. That way in Google Drive, you keep both documents, your original Word document, and then your modified Google Doc. Next one is change the language settings. This will change it for your entire Google experience. And so if you want everything to be in Spanish, you can change your language settings for everything you do in Google to actually be in Spanish. All right, the next thing here is this offline sync. We're going to talk about this. This is the thing that you need to do in order to use Google offline. So we'll come back to that. Density, it's just how your stuff appears on the screen, whether you want it to be comfortable to look at, or if you're using a smaller screen, more compact. So you've got three options, and you can play with these different things to see which one works for you. Quick access on your Google Drive, quick access will put across the top, when you go to My Drive, it will put some files up there that you have recently accessed so that you have quick access to it. Over on the left, you'll notice we've just gone through the general settings. The next thing down is notifications. This is going to email me, or it's going to, in my browser, show me updates to Google Drive. Under Manage Apps, these are apps that are attached to either Google Drive, or they may be attached to Docs, Sheets, or Forms. And so some of these things, this is where you can actually delete them. This is where you can change them. But if I was to come up here to Awesome Table, I can disconnect this from my Google Drive. And so you've got some options here as far as that. When you disconnect it, you're basically deleting it. So there's not much attached to this account. If you want to use this by default, you can go ahead and click here. they're available within all these are for docs or forms or sheets, and I can just access them through the add-ons there. I'm going to click done, and that's it as far as the settings. You'll notice up in the upper left-hand corner under our little icon here, and yours probably says something else because you're not a Murray State account, or you might be. Under there is the big blue button, and it says New. If I click it, this is where I'm going to create new things. If I want to create a new folder, I'm going to click here. When I click, it's going to pop up this new window, and it's going to ask me to name my folder. And so I would go ahead and type the name. I'm going to call it Oh My for our class. And I'm going to click Create. And then it's going to take me to where that is and highlight it in blue. Now if I click on a different folder, it's actually going to highlight that in blue. But at least it shows me where it is. If I wanted to put another folder inside of there, make sure you got it open. So I'm actually gone from My Drive and open Oh My. And I could go to New Folder and let's say call this Week 1 and create it, and so on and so forth. And in Week 1, I might want to put some files. And so if I want to create a doc that is going to be in Week 1, I can either create it in my drive and then move it to Week 1, or I can go all the way through here and go to Week 1, go to New, go to Google Doc. It will open a new one. There it is. See, once you title it, it is in your Week 1 folder. And so you don't have to move it. You could, in your Google Doc, go to the folder and actually move it there, or go back to Google Drive and move it, but this saves that step. So if I want to go from Week 1 back to My Drive, I've got a couple options. I can click here on My Drive, or I can come over here. So I'm going to click on My Drive here, and I'm back to where I started. Under New, I also have File Upload. And so if I want to bring files from my computer's hard drive, I click here, and it's going to, and I'm on a Mac, it's going to bring up my Finder. For you in Windows, it's going to bring up your Windows Explorer. You can look through and find whatever it is that you want to upload, and you can click on it, and you can say Open. And so it's uploading that video, and so when it's finished, it's going to be a part of my Google Drive. And if I had wanted it in a folder, I would have gone to that folder first. All right, another thing under here is folder upload. Same idea, but you have to actually upload an entire folder. So if I go to maybe in Documents, I have a folder that says AUP. If I clicked on that, clicked upload, it would upload that entire folder. So I don't have to do it file by file. I can do the entire folder. Now again, remember this is coming from my hard drive. We are going to cancel that. Another thing under New, I've already created a new Google Doc, but I wanted to show you the arrow to the right allows me to choose between a blank document or creating one from a template. If I just click on Google Docs here, it's going to automatically create a blank document. But From Template is going to open the templates that are available for Google Docs. And some of those are Murray State accessible, so therefore our domain. Some of yours may be there for your domain. And so you'll see that there are some things like a template for like a memo that are put in here, and then CDI has put something in here for them to be able to access. And you can come over here and submit a template, and it will be added here. If I go back to General though, you'll notice that I see templates for a lot of different things. And because they know we're an education account, the education templates are first. Also, we have sheets, we have slides, and if I hover over more, I have forms, drawings, my maps, and sites. All of these things are standard in your Google Drive menu. Now you can connect more apps. Some apps work with Google Drive. If you connect them, they will allow you to actually save your product to Google Drive from their application online. So we are going to now go to what else is on here under My Drive. Now when I click on My Drive, obviously I'm going to go to seeing everything that is at that bottom level, my home, of Google Drive. All right. Now I'm looking at it in list view. You can also come up here and change it to grid view. This is typically the way I work with it, but a lot of people like it in the other view. Notice you'll see all of your folders first. You can color code your folders, and we'll look at that in a few minutes. You can share a folder. That's what this little icon with the little head in it shows. And then I can come down here and see different files that have not actually been filed. We'll go back to the list view and I'll show you the difference. The list view shows you your folders first, same as the other one. Still shows you that it's shared, tells you who the owner is, and remember that I am logged in as Kate, so these belong to Kate. If you look down here, there is a folder that was shared by someone else, and it is still in my drive because it's been shared with me. And as I scroll down, you'll notice that when I get to documents, folders don't have a size, but files do. Anything that is created in Google, whether it's a Google Doc, a Google Slide, a Google Form, or a site, does not have a file size. And so if I look down here, I see all these PDFs. They all have a size to them. So they're part of my 67 gigabytes that is being used. But if I come down a little farther, this actual document, which was shared with me by somebody else, has no size because it is a Google Doc. And you can tell when your files are actually shared with somebody by seeing the two people side by side here. Notice that if I go to the grid view and I look at these same files, I don't know which ones are shared. And that's why a lot of people will actually use the list view. This is my drive. All right, when you come to shared with me, if I click on this, immediately when somebody shares something with me, it goes right here. Now I can leave it there, or I can actually add it to my Google Drive. But remember, these are all, they all belong to somebody else. If I was to leave, there are accounts that are saved here, or files that are saved here, they will actually go away. Let's say that I want to take this thing that Jennifer put up here. I can right click on it and I can say, it says add to my drive. And so if I click this, it's going to give me, it actually put it there. Now I can actually organize it and say, oh, I need to put it in X folder. And so it doesn't delete it from here under shared with me because it still is not my file. And so it stays there. And the same with the folders. That's shared with me. Again, a lot of people, when they share things, they will email you and say, I've shared this with you. It will give you a link. That link will take you to that file, but you can also get to it from here in shared with me. And right clicking. If I right click on a folder, it's going to give me all these options. And when it says open with, there's really nothing I can open a folder with besides just opening it by double clicking on it. But I can share the folder from here. If I click share, it's going to open up my box. And this looks the same as it would if I did it in a document as well. And so I can email people. And if I start typing Ginny's email, I can say, add her. I can start adding Jennifer's email, and I can keep adding people that I want to add. It will start suggesting people that I use or access a lot. I can also change their rights on the file. I can let them, and since this is a folder, I can let them organize, add, and edit, or I can just let them see what's in the folder. When you share a folder and give people access to it, they have access to anything that you put in that folder. And so you not only get to organize, add, and edit things to the folder, you get to organize, add, and edit the documents and anything else that's in there. So you can add a note to it because it's going to email people. If I don't want it to email people, I can uncheck this, but I don't know why you wouldn't want to notify people, so I always leave that checked. And then you can click send. If I come up here, I can get a shareable link. This will be a link that I can email out to people. I can put into a document. And so notice I have different rights here. Here it says anybody at Murray State with the link can view it. And so when you're in an education institution and you're part of Google G Suites for Education, you have your domain in here and you can limit things to your domain. So I can let anybody at Murray State edit this or anybody at Murray State view this, but I can hover and click on more. I can make something public. And this is the one I typically do. If I'm sharing something out at a training or something, I will say anybody I give this link to can actually, get to the document. And so there's no logging in or anything else. They can get to the document. Notice down here though, I can change what they can do with the document. And so I can give them the same rights that I gave to Jennifer and Ginny earlier, okay? And so it's not just that I'm giving them the link, I can control what they do with that link as well. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to cancel this as well. Down here at the bottom in advanced, this is where I can go and see who it's shared with. This is who I'm inviting. And I can, I'm not going to actually do that, but I can also change these owner settings. Since this is mine and it belongs to my account, I can prevent my editors sharing and changing access to this folder if I click this. And so that retains some of my rights over top of the people that it's shared with, which is kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this here. I'm going to say I'm done here, and we're going to continue down. So if I go down to a file, I can do the same thing. I can right click on something, a Google Doc. It is starred, so it's in the starred area. But if I right click on this, I can go to share, and notice it looks exactly the same. The only thing that's going to be different are your rights. They can edit, comment, and view because this is a document, not a folder. And if I was to get a shareable link, those are the same things that I can actually give anybody that I give the shareable link to. Now, if I change this, like I did before, to anybody with the link, again, I can give them, it defaults to view, I can give them edit, comment, or viewing rights. Let's say I say that, and I say save. I still have advanced down here, and so it's going to say I've got the same things here, but I've got two things that I can change in my owner settings. One is prevent the editors from changing the access and adding new people, same as it was kind of before. And I can also disable the options to download, print, and copy for anybody that only has commenting and viewer rights. This way you can put something on social media, let people view it, but they can't make it theirs by making a copy of it, and they actually can't even print it out. They can't download it, they can't do anything with it. They can just view it. So that's it for this lesson. Now, I hope you learned a lot from this video. If you have questions, feel free to also post those in the comments. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.